Okay, let's see. Can I make the whole order, the whole folder, playlist? That looks it. Test. Okay, welcome. Let's see if this works. Music. Yes. The last few days, I've been trying around with like Super Nintendo sound fonts, sounds, game music. I'm making like an album with it. So I kind of have multiple tracks that can play from it. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks. It's another one. And they're all like 1 minute to 2 minutes. So times 7 is 14. Oh, Pupen. Welcome. I love your avatar. Okay, basically today, I started this yesterday before sleeping, and the idea is we're drawing Behemoth from Chocobo TP. That's a great idea, right? Because like I wanted to draw a Behemoth from Final Fantasy, and then, okay, this is a bit quiet, I think. I wanted to draw a Behemoth from Final Fantasy, and then I googled Final Fantasies or like looked at like fan arts and like Final Fantasy Behemoth, and then I found out there's like this character that is perfect for us, right? Like he has clothing and it's even a tank top, right? Like it's like here it shows that it's a tank top, right? And I think the color scheme is also fun because it's like kind of I would say clashing in a good way, bold colors, right? Like I would say like just hair and thing would be Spyro, but then there's also like red highlights, and like white, and like orangey, and more will come. So yeah, I already did this, and my test for this was, no, it's too loud again. Yeah, I have to like look at the like volumes of the music. And Mario is watching my Tanabata video. Thanks so much. Yeah, I did not think about it, but then I was in a Discord call with a Japanese friend, and he talked about Tanabata, and then I was in VR chat, and the main VR chat world was a Tanabata themed world, which is really fun, right? Yeah, Tanabata is this like Japanese holiday festival with the Tansaku strips on bamboo with like wishes, right? Welcome. Of course, like I wish something every day too. And what I tried here, let's see. What I tried here is basically face. Mainline's face. Yeah, my layers are totally like messed up all the time, right? But basically, I tried this time to draw with like a pastel pen, right? And my reason for that, today's Viachet fireworks. The Viachet fireworks? I did not know that like there were fireworks at Tanabata. I thought it would be like later in summer. But yeah, that's great. But yeah, basically like pastels, I tried to like sketch this in pastels because like this like thicker lines, right? Because I keep seeing in other artists that they use thicker lines for sketching. And I thought like I use just the thin lines for sketching, but is there a reason for that? And then, yeah, I'm not sure what's the reason for that. And the thing is, it kind of worked though, because like I wrote myself like at 1 a.m. I wrote like pastel for sketching is nice, but why? Like I'm not quite sure why. I guess like it's like people say it's good for blocking out, but then it's like not blocking out but still lines. Or like it's blocking out. Yeah. Perfect. Ah, I see. I had my like main volume muted. Test. Yeah, I think this is better. Thanks much. I can hear myself too. Right. And then I think I'm happy with the hands. Oh, dang, 90 watch streams. I streamed 90 times, that's crazy. Says there was a giant countdown for the fireworks in the home world. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, the thing is like I don't go to the home world much because I have like an onsen world, home world. Oh, how do you like this background music? I made it in with the Kirby free sound font. And that's also what I did before this stream. I had to add a deep brass part. It will be later in this track. Right, it sounds like Furry, right? I guess Furry was just really funky jazz thingy. Anyways, the thing is, for the hands... Oh, I added this part just before. I think it's fun. Okay, for the hands, I think some great artists gave me a tip for hands, or like, I guess not hands, but like in general concepts. In general concepts of like, how do you say it? Like, he described it with like magnets and like metal in flesh or whatever. And it was basically that, okay, maybe I cannot explain it that well, but it was basically that like, if you push in meat, then the metal is on the other side. And that made me think a lot, like that seems like really trivial, but it made me think a lot that basically the bones are not in the center all the time, right? Does that make sense? And also that gravity affects meat and muscles too. And that combined means that like the bones of the finger, like it's more bony on the top part than the bottom part, right? I mean, like that makes sense, like everyone knows it, right? But like for me it is like a big revelation. The flesh moves around a lot. Exactly that. But like the flesh moves around, and I guess that's also like one of these things where it's like, probably everyone knows it, but I did not think about it. And I think if you think about it and not even do anything differently, then the forms and anatomy still gets better, right? Which is kind of cool. The thing is then, and that's also why probably like one thing pastels or like thicker lines for sketching is good, and the other thing is that like I need to work on my shortcomings, of course, is I think when I translate the less detail to more detail, I still, for like hands or fingers, have problems with like saying exactly where what is, right? Like basically like if this should be here or like this should be there or something, this may be better, this may be better, and like how should I form this, or like how should I form the thumb, right? Omar says that looks really nice. Thanks so much. Yeah, this is also like a thing. I wanted this to practice, right? Like one is fingers or like hands, and the other one is like depth for shortening, right? Like maybe here in this area I need to do something different, maybe like push the shoulder more forward or something, I'm not sure. And I think this will also be really fun, right? When like the fingers are like kind of like this kind of swish motion. I guess that's also something that I've been noticing with fingers, that it's often with like a swoosh motion. Says, oh, and Mr. Silvergreen, welcome. And Serendip says, I think the head and face is really awesome. Thanks so much. Yeah, for the head, I took a bit, but I was really happy with this part here. I was really happy with this part here, right? Like the lower jaw, which often I have difficulties with. Still not perfect, but I think by adding this here and this here, it kind of shows a bit that it has like a muscle, right? Which I struggle with front-facing poses often. I also like that he's like kind of like looking down a bit, so like he's like looking like down, right? It's like the reverse fusion thing, right? Yeah. The thing is also, I should not forget that, like ears, for example, right? Like he needs ears. I guess the ears are relatively big. Of course, like this is really chibi, so I want it to be less chibi, right? So it's like more like cool. But yeah, I guess this is also like a great pose, right? Like he's like crossing his arms. It looks really great. And I guess this is the original. I think like the original looks a bit like Chibi Neutron. And I guess like the humanoid characters, especially of the new ones, some look a bit like Uncanny Valley, I think. Oh, Asuna, welcome. And Kamen Rider, welcome. And I think this one here, like I watched like cutscenes in English, and I think this one it sounds like Ice Wolf. At least how Ice Wolf is doing the like some voice acting of like meant to be nice characters or something, which is fun. Also to Ice Wolf. Yeah. So we need the ears, right? What are the shapes of the ears? I guess they're not turned up, but I guess like because the thing is like turned, they could look a bit like turned down, right? Yeah, I had really much fun with like trying the sound fonts, and I never really thought to use more sound fonts of like Super Nintendo thing, because like I'm using this in like FL Studio, right? Like I don't need like using a tracker, like the old soundtracks use like trackers, which is basically like a running down like grid where you put in the notes manually. I used it for like my Game Boy Studio game, which is Plants Quest, but I guess it's easier to like get ideas down in FL Studio, just like piano roll and stuff. And this one uses the sound font of how it's called, Mana, Secret of Mana? No, how it's called? Is it called Secret of Mana? Secret of Mana. Yeah, Secret of Mana. Of course, like the sounds are, how it's called, like based on samples. So if you like go really far from the intended range of the music instrument, they get like really like slower or like lose like depth and stuff, or like loose, high end. You get like really like mellow, which is good I think, but also like the detune kind of. Says, one thing I noticed how compared to last night is that the fingers are about as thick as the thumb. I guess it depends on the desired proportions. Right. The thing is, if I look at my fingers like this from this angle, they're like on my hand, they're almost the same. But here, the thumb looks almost thinner, right? The thing is, what I also want to like keep in mind, like what I mentally had in my head, is that like this thing here, what are these things called again? I should know the names, but if I don't know the names, it's also fine. I guess like, how do you call these things? I guess I will Google it. You don't need to know how it's called, but hand anatomy. And muscle anatomy? It's the muscles, right? Muscle anatomy. It's called... I guess we don't need like the totally detail. Oh, it's called eminence. It's called tena eminence. That's on the thumb, which is a bit bigger, and hypotena eminence. That sounds fun. Tena and hypotena eminence. Yeah, that sounds good, right? And the thing is for this two, this is a bit bigger, but this is a bit higher. Maybe it's not really higher. Okay, but yeah, basically like this got this more space. But I will go to this one later and first do this hand. So just we get like one finger again. And for the pose, for the lower body, I thought like maybe like he's like has one leg on some kind of bench or whatever, and the other, or like on the wall, and the other one is bending down. It's like dangling down and like supporting against the wall. Or I also have this here, but I think like something like this is better. Then it also creates like this nice like, if I do like this here, like there's a foot and there's a foot, like this, right? Something like this. Then it looks like he's breakdancing or doing like this like Russian dance or something. And I think the problem is also that then this and this is kind of too like boxy, right? Like it makes this thing. So like, I think like they look the same, and we have to think about the golden spiral, right? Which is this. And then the golden triangle. So, no, I'm just joking, but I think like having like a T and here makes it nicer, right? Because then it's like, it's kind of this. And this. And then it's this. Right? Do you get my vision? I'm not sure like if there's like a, like not a rule to it, but like a reason why this looks boring and this looks more interesting. But I guess it's a feeling thing. Yeah, let's do the finger. lines and left. So we got the vision here, which is the most important thing. But it's a bit scary. I'm not sure if I can do that. So my idea was... my idea was that like this one here... But yeah, you can see like totally that I like struggle with like knowing which kind of shape I can make the fingers in while still looking natural, right? And I don't want them to look too sketchy. Oh, also, I should look at the original, that like the claws are relatively big, right? Like, what is this? Basically, it's like this, but I will tone it a bit down. Tone it a bit down. Could also like try if it's like this. Something like this maybe. Oh, and Suyo Hernandez, welcome. Claws for fingers, right? But like, should I like draw it really as claws? I mean, maybe. But then I cannot practice fingers, right? Who is it that I'm drawing? I'm drawing the behemoth of Chocobo GP. I think he's called Ben. At least like in this game he's called Ben. Sounds kind of like a Sonic character, right? Ben the Behemoth. Like, with the same starting word, like Sonic the Snake or Sonic the Hedgehog. Henry the Hedgehog. I think here like the index finger looks too big again, right? But like I have really hard time like thinking how I want to shape it, right? But I think that will get better with time. Like this is too... I don't want it to be mistaken for a thumb, right? Oops. But yeah, I guess like the most important thing is just the like expression of it. Then this here, you can see like the bony part here, right? Definitely see that I'm like really struggling with like knowing the right shape, kind of. And then whether like this. But then here I guess like this can be bigger here because like there's nothing like punching against it, right? I should make it bigger. And then here I think I will like do it like this. Even be a bit shadow here. I like how, like, when I think now about it, compared to like 1 year ago, I think that there are a lot of things where you have options where kind of like nothing is wrong, right? Like if I do like this, or like if I like do like something like that to show the shape, I think it's never like wrong. We could show it like this, right? Don't want this to look too much like a thumb. Maybe I should do it like that. But it needs to have some kind of shape to it, I think. I think like if like they're like more expressive, it's better. But yeah, basically, mostly I don't know what I'm doing. Something like this. Maybe, I guess. Thank you, and Lara, welcome. And Lana John Paul, welcome. Never heard of it. Have you heard of an upcoming queer animated film called Jim Queen? No, I have not, but I think like if it's called queer, then maybe it's fun for me. Unless if it's like gay death drama, which are kind of a lot of movies. Where like bad things happen to gay people. Like kind of like, oh no, the love is forbidden and they cannot have love. And then it's like not a good ending. Why are there so many sad stories about it? I don't like it. I want more happy stories. I will just do happy stories in my comics. Yeah. The thing is like, I think like this is like a conversation that came up lately in Discord that I was in. Wait, what was I talking about? Kind of like that there are like a lot of like comics or like doujinshi that have like just casual, funny, harmless story, but there are also a lot that have like really like deep, emotional drama. But I don't like them too much. I just want happy stuff. Yes, Jim Queen. It sounds like a whiskey. Okay. I don't drink those, or maybe like another. Oh, that's the French one, right? I think like I saw the trailer of it actually. I think that's a really French one. Yeah. I think it looks great, yeah. I love like is it like an indie animation movie or not? But yeah, I love like French 2D animated movies. Right? Like it's really French. Even now, I thought the movie is good, touches on a lot of interesting queer topics and seems like a fun comedy. Yeah, fun comedy sounds good. Like I don't want it to be something sad. And yeah. What else can I say? Like, of course, like I think like I can show that. I think like this is this that? Basically, what I can respect about it is that it like seems that it like I mean like it's a French movie, right? But it has like I guess like cultures, which is I think a topic that needs to be more normalized, I think personally. Like body parts or whatever. But it's also French, right? So like that's like a given anyways. I think like a lot of French 2D movies, or I guess like in general like French art house movies or French spirit media has a really casual, refreshingly casual connection to like, I guess like body and more like, I guess like sexual themes, but not in a really like sexually, how it's called, like not like as an activity, but just like as a like art form, random fact of life, like just like a fact of life kind of, part of life, which I think is nice. And I also like the clouds here. I want to draw clouds. I saw like really inspiring clouds in drawings. And I think, oh, look, there are even like line stops here. I love it. We'll find more info about that, but yeah. Yeah, I think it sounds, it looks fun. Team Queen. Okay, thanks. I will put it on my to watch list. And I think one that's also really great, but I guess like it's 3D to 2D. That's also French. I guess like that's not like particularly about like gay experience, but Ernest et Celestine. I love it. You all know that? Like this one here. It's also really French. But like it's really French in another way, right? Like this is like the kind of like equivalent picture book French, right? I love that one too. Right? And it looks really silly, right? And it also like, if I look about it now, with the information that I've gathered, or like the, mostly like the art style progress I made like last month, that I noticed now the line character more, right? Like I noticed that like it has a lot of disconnected lines. It has a lot of like line thickness variation, and it has a lot of line thickness variation. It has a lot of disconnected lines. It has a lot of jiggliness, right, to it. Like it looks almost like the artist drew it while not having his hand on the table or something. I think it's really great. And like all these details, right? I mean, like maybe that's a 3D thing. 3D render, I'm not sure. But these lines here, yeah, really great and effective, I think. Okay. Okay, that was it with like our excursion into bears in French 2D animation media, or like 2D looking animation media. Guess like this one here, maybe more like this. Like I want to like show the knuckle, right? Yeah, I think it's better if I have it like this. Or like if it's like this, then it's like smooshed together here. I guess both could work, but I don't want it to be like too symmetrical, right? There's a lot of new things I'm thinking about. Maybe something like this. Like this, right? Like this also, like it's a bit more like this maybe. I want to like show the shape of the knuckle. Is it called knuckle? Or is it like the one thing behind it called knuckle? And I guess like here too, right? Like this is where it bends. Did we do it wrong? Or is it more like here? Maybe it's more here. Maybe it's actually more here. Right? And then... yeah, we will just like make the... shape of it like more like here. And then we have like the last one where I wanted to show that like this thing should like go from the back more out, right? We show this more. You are foreshortening it even more? This what? Yeah, I think like I don't want it to be too disconnected. But then... to be a bit more up. But yeah, I'm always thankful about like there's like 2D movie recommendations. Or like in general movie recommendations. But nothing with zombies. So here I want it to like look more like meat kind of. Or, but it also needs to be a bit smaller. Maybe we can make this even smaller, then it's like going even more, that's like the smaller thing now. Make this more up too. Still kind of too long, right? Need to move this thing here, so it's kind of like in this spiral thingy. Maybe like this. And then still... needs to still be smaller. I think like this what I'm doing right now, maybe it's like a bit like taking more time. But I think it's good to think about this and not be like too scared about it. Do I need to eat soon? I started streaming, I need to eat. Oh, I go to Twitter posting anyway. Have a great weekend and see ya. See you. You take care and great wings profile picture. But the knuckles is definitely connected to the hand, the rest of it called joints. Yeah, but how do you call like the end of the joint? Like the middle, I guess like that's the joint. But like the outside, because I thought like joint is like the inside thing, right? Maybe there's no word for it. I think like these could also like... that's another tip I got, like that the nails add much to the... nails add much to the pose. And the 3Dness feel. Like this one should be like a bit like, this is like a plane, right? So it should be like foreshortened back, but it's a bit hard to do, I think. Maybe this needs to be bigger. Then it's not attached right. I think I just want rice. Maybe I'll just make rice. Not well attached. Maybe I just need to make it more like claws and do this thing here. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to test. I wanted this like, oh, mirroring shortcut. Okay, we have like this thing here. And here. Maybe like this. But this shouldn't be like between those two, right? Phalanges or phalanx. It's not a dedicated finger joint, it's the end of the finger bone jutting out. Phalanx. I thought like phalanx would be just the bone. Or like the section. Phalanges. Phalanx bone. Yeah, it's just the bones, right? But how is like the knuckle on the outside called? The section is what causes the bump. Right. But I think like the bump is the thing that's prominent, right? It's kind of like... Yeah, it's like a knee, right? Or maybe it's not a knee, but an elbow. But I guess on the elbow there's things sticking out, right? That doesn't matter too much. This I like, and this I don't like. I like how this shows the foreshortening, right? So how can I make this show the foreshortening a bit? It should like be more outside than this, but less than this, right? Something like this. Maybe something like this. I'm not sure. Doesn't have to be perfect. But I will perfect it with time. I swear. The minor knuckles are part of the phalanges. Okay, I see. So then we have here the Fina Eminence, right? Was it called Fina Eminence? It feels so scientific. Also, of course, like you don't have to like remember these names. I'll probably also not remember it. Fina Eminence. Is it called Fina Eminence? Fina Eminence. I'm definitely like remembering more like names that people don't really need to remember, right? But I think it's kind of, for me it's useful because like I don't like to Like, I think, like, drawing already has so many topics that are hard to talk about, right? So many concepts that are really hard to describe. So with the anatomy, at least there are like words for stuff that's definitive, right? Like it's definitely this part is called that, right? So I think that's a nice thing. But then the concepts like energy in a painting or flow or eye guideline or whatever, that's like inner M&Ms. No, I'm getting hungry. What are you doing to me? I'm getting hungry now. I want M&Ms. I want M&Ms and put them into like 1 kilo of yogurt and then like they like makes the yogurt rainbowy. Okay. Concentrate plan. How should I connect this? I think like, yeah. Like this part here, it goes like from back to front, right? So like, that's a nice thing. Then maybe like something like this. With all this detail, you would definitely need to like, it looks a bit weird here. And maybe you can see here, would it be like this or would it be like this? Or would it be like this? Or like this? Or like this? I guess it would be also like kind of like turned, right? Because it's like so foreshortened. Maybe like this. Not the easiest thing, because like it's so like from the side, right? Like I want to draw it like this, but it's more from the side. Like this part here is more like a triangle kind of thing. At least that's how I would imagine it. I also did not look at any references for this, but I think that's a good like challenge to think like how would this plane look without a reference, right? Maybe like there's like skin bunching up. And like I totally want to do it this way, but it's not correct. So like it's doesn't make sense for the shape, right? Like this looks smaller. Like the bigger Fina eminence that is bigger than the Hypofina eminence is kind of scrunched up. It needs still more like I guess like at least the thumb is bigger now, but it needs some kind of different shape. Like it needs more like base to it, right? Oh, a drawer, welcome. Let's just experiment with it. Take this whole section here and put it more to the side, maybe. That's kind of I think this part here is also kind of really wrong. Maybe we need to delete this too. No, I'm just confusing myself. Hmm. The thing is, this part here. This part is like this side, right? Like this. Hard to say. Or maybe like all these fingers need to be more outside. Yes. Get them so that we're not scared. Hmm. Maybe here, maybe here, maybe here. I could maybe even do it like this, right? And then have like more of the back of the hand showing. Maybe that's fine too. Something like this. Hmm. The thing is, what this had, the original had like the, I guess like it's still like, this one down. There was some message. I did the wrong thing so much. Hmm. Okay, let's just continue. So this is like our like finger test. This needs more. Maybe like this. Okay, let's continue for now. So, this we can like put in there. Yeah, I think like for like the hand, it's the thing where I mostly see like, I'm not sure what is right and what is wrong, right? But I think that comes with time, like just with anything else. It's too low now. I feel like the whole arm there. Maybe I could even do it like this. No. Low. This. If I draw it like this, then maybe you don't see it. Oops. This. Hmm. No, it doesn't connect well, right? It must be even more forceful. Definitely a good challenge though. Yeah. Something like that. Wait, this is too round here. This is too thick now. Down. Misery, welcome. Do I have you here? Okay. Again, like this more, or do I like this more? I think both are not too bad. Maybe something between. Maybe this is just more like the bicep size. I think I like this more. It's like kind of like I want to like show it that it's like a bit boxy, right? Kind of like this. Then I can do like need something here, right? Maybe something like that. I'm happy that like the biceps, I think like the foreshortening on it works a bit, and I'm happy with that. Also, all get better with time. Let's do here something that shows the form too, right? So like let's add maybe veins too. Can also show it like this. Experimenting a bit with like which kind of lines I want to do. But I think it's nice to like follow, like use it to like follow the surface. Kind of like and maybe here it can show again because it's like the shadow here. Or like maybe, yeah. But then this one here would be like really like there's so much light here that you don't see it much. I think. See this like on the back here too? Maybe. I guess this is like should be the like rear dart, right? I will just add like something like this. To break up the big shape, right? It's not meant to be fur, it's just meant to be like something. Maybe we don't need it later when we color it. Very nice, thanks so much. How do you draw muscle? How, Mr. How do you draw muscles like that? Oh, Kieran Lava says, what's the current background song? Thanks so much. It's called... 1 second. I did not like name it in the like project settings, so I quickly have to like open it. Just like the file settings and not the project settings. So like right now I have like a playlist of like songs that are all called the same, but project. And also, I want to make out of this a full album that I would put on YouTube too. So it will be like a soundtrack for a game that doesn't exist, or maybe exists sometime in the future. That is kind of like in this contemplative, like Super Nintendo sound. I called it right now Clock Tower. I used like the clock sound in the background, so I called it Clock Tower, and like music box, right? Oh, I'll quickly get some water, I'll be right back. And then I'll talk more about muscles, or like how it wrote them or whatever. Good question. Also, thanks so much everyone for like writing me. I will definitely make rice later, but I'm out of eggs and I'm kind of like busy later, so I cannot restock on eggs. So it's like I'll just make the rice with more yogurt. Doesn't sound good. But yeah, I really want rice now. Okay. Just 3 more eggs, but I'm not a duck. Also, I think like if you eat your own things, then it's like, I guess then I need more nutrients to produce it, right? What would the shading in this be? Look like this, and this would be more like this, right? Yeah, I think that's like actually kind of works, right? Like I'm thinking right now that like how it's called, I'm not sure if that works, how I think it should work, but basically, or should it work the other way? Basically what I'm thinking, like they are not totally symmetrical, right? Like the viewpoint of it. So I'm thinking which of those two should be more curved and which one should be less curved, because like this one is like foreshortened and this one is not, right? So the other way around, it would be like this and this. Does this make more sense? No, right? I think this makes more sense. Or does it not? I think this makes more sense, right? Because like this is curved more because it's like compressed more. Or like it's not really compressed more because, but it looks more compressed because it's like in your direction, right? Or like maybe I'm thinking it totally wrong. Or maybe this one is correct. Like the logic for this one would be that it's kind of like the eye that is not facing you is more vertical, right? And this logic here is that the thing that is facing you is more 3D. What do you all think? But it's definitely not the same of both sides, right? Like it's definitely not like this. This. Option 3. Or maybe it is, but maybe not. Maybe this looks annoying now. And we can also like do one with both that are craft. I think I'm noticing like more kind of concepts appearing everywhere randomly, which is I think fun. You know, now I confused myself with layers. It's better? No, right? Like this or that? I think still this one, right? Not sure. Anyways. Call this shading line. Does this look just a line or the shading? Okay. Should we at least try the legs? They are always a bit scary. Legs. We can do it. Go. I hope you can hear my excitement in my voice. So, this is really foreshortened again. But where should be the knee? It looks too small, right? And it's also like in your face, right? So it should be like really big, kind of. More like this. This is more like it. And another thing is like how the lower leg smushes against the upper leg, right? Guess it would like create something like this. This is tough. So foreshortened. This confuses me. Maybe this whole part here is confusing. Can we make it less confusing? Maybe if it totally faces you, maybe that makes more sense. Yeah, I think that's fun, right? Because then we have like... I'm thinking again like, basically, if I align less parts of the body with each other, then maybe it looks more 3D, because then it's like multiple like vectors, right? Like it's basically like a sea urchin, right? It's like a sea urchin. Do you all get my vision? It's like a sea urchin. But then it's like... The thing is, it's like a sea urchin, but the problem is that maybe if it's too front-facing, it looks... Maybe if it's too front-facing, it will look too flat again, because it's too front-facing. Let's see. So like, our idea is like, we have like this here. Something like that. The other option is that we have it really like this. But I guess like front facing is also not too good, right? Because then it like loses its sense of 3Dness again. And this will also be then really hard to draw, right? It's so foreshortened. We have to practice. Let's try it in circles. Exactly. And then it's also like, I think like, probably if it's too front facing, it takes a bit away of the focus from the face, right? Like the face is front facing. So if I make the leg front facing, then it creates like kind of line down. Is I think bad. I think I want to make like the focus of this leg kind of like the, how it's called, inner quad, quadriceps vastus medialis, right? And then I just need to like, I think like for this I probably need a reference, but I think like the idea is good. So that we have like this thing here, and then it goes like down here, then... How would like the... How would the feet be placed here? This would be front facing again, right? So it would be a bit like side facing. Goes more back. Maybe like it's only here. Really tough, and I'm confusing myself with my lines, but... Not sure. Oh, Skull of God, welcome. Nice, I'm trying to figure out how I want to show this thing here. And I'm getting really hungry. But I will eat soon. Let's try maybe the other leg first. Like this is like one leg. left. Leg right. Leg right. Oh, also. Sorry that I forgot. Oh, I heard sea urchin tastes sweet and creamy. I have never eaten a sea urchin. Brooklyn Arts. Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you here too. And Misery says, how do you draw muscles like that? Wow, wow, wow. Thanks so much. So basically, how do you draw muscles like that? I think I have a lot to learn, but I think I'm getting with time better with like perspective, at least a bit, right? Or at least a bit like the tricking the mind part, right? So I think that's probably like something that a lot of people advise against, right? At least for like the start, but like for me, what at the start helped me, and you can see it in my like VODs on something like this. This is the shape of it. And you can see it on my like VODs that I think I studied anatomy relatively early in my art journey, right? Like I drew like since like 2 years or something. And I mean like really sporadically before, but like kind of like learning that you can improve and find out things, right? Kind of like 2 years or 1.5 years. And I think for me, like anatomy, muscles, knowing which muscles there are and where they connect has been really helpful. Like basically, like for example, like you can see like the like pec, this is like the pec muscle, pectoralis muscle, and like it connects kind of behind the biceps to the like outside of the arm, so like it goes like under there and like it goes like whoosh. And I think knowing that structurally helps me create it, right? Because then you can like just think about like, oh yeah, the arm is like connected like this, but like the pec is still connected to the outside of the arm, right? And like still like going there, like the pec is like never not between biceps and shoulders, kind of, right? Or like never like not connected to the outside of the arm. And you can do that just with like any muscle. And of course like some muscles, like with the like muscles on the outside of the body, right? Mostly. And also with like the bones. But like you don't need to know that there's every bone, right? Or like you don't need to know like for me to draw like the lower arm, I think it's nice to know that there are like 2 bones that kind of like one radius is like swooshing around it, right? When you turn the arm and then you like it's sticking out somewhere. Like this I meant to like show here that like the what's called ulnar is sticking out. And it's always the same, like it's always sticking out on this part of the finger, I think. Like you can like check it for yourself. Like this, like a, maybe it's a bit more like on the back side of the arm. But there's like a bony thing. And basically like just like learning more about these things helped me. But of course you don't need really to do that if like you connect more with like basically just like shape language and not learning how the things are called. That's totally valid too, and I think like probably most artists do that way, right? Power of our pumpkin. Yes. That's maybe like the shoulders, right? The shoulders kind of look like a pumpkin or a paprika, but of course like not in every angle, right? But that's not like meaning that like they always have to look like a paprika. But it's kind of separate sections that like bunch out a bit. And the thing is, I think that's even useful for drawing muscular people, right? Like I think like the same knowledge points, maybe like they don't call it knowledge points or whatever. Or like maybe like they did not even think about it, but still kind of got it. Is the same thing that I think like Renaissance artists also do, right? Like, for example, like this part here, right? With the neck. You still need this even if you draw normal people. So, yeah. What is another good thing about muscles? I think like in general, what helps me is like splitting up things, right? Like you don't have to like know every part of the body, and like side views, many people can draw well, right? But or like kind of like weird angles or whatever. And like, of course, like I want to know that, but I guess it's also lenient, where it's like if there are some mistakes. If like the impression, like the general impression is great, it doesn't matter. And I saw that too in like kind of like my favorite like fan comics and stuff, where it's like people draw like out their poses, where maybe like the arm doesn't connect perfectly, but it doesn't matter because it reads so well, right? I think that's really cool. Yes, it can be a pumpkin. Brooklyn Arts, great that you draw muscular people. Kieran Lara says, know how to draw something is different from knowing its definition. What matters is understanding the concept and enjoying it. Exactly. Like, you don't need the definition, like, it's just like sciencey words, right? So like, maybe there are people that know more the definition, but cannot draw it because they don't understand the shape. But then there are people who don't know the definition, but draw a perfect forearm because they just like have still like the same knowledge, right? Or like even more knowledge, they just don't word it. And I guess that's a bit frustrating, right? Because then it's like, you know something, but you cannot word it, right? So it's like basically like when I like ask like an artist to draw great like lower arms. What do you think about this part of this part? And they cannot explain it. It's a bit frustrating. Because they do think something, right? It's just like the process of like calling it something is maybe more difficult than what you learned, right? Okay, let's see where we place the knee here. So this one is there. So I want this knee to be kind of like even more to the side, right? Like this is kind of like, if this would be like a vector, it would look somewhere there, right? It would look somewhere there. But this one would totally look there, right? Like this is like I guess this is also a good practice, right? But basically it means like this distance here is this distance here, right? Like because it's like closer to us. And if it would be like this, then it would be even longer, right? So like we can do like this, this, and this. Does it make sense? I'm just confusing myself. You don't need this. Just like observations that I make, kind of. Okay. Also, it could totally be that like everything I say is totally wrong. So don't listen too much to it. I think also my brain for art is kind of different than most people probably. Then here. A bit too long maybe, right? Like I always draw this part too long, I think. This part here, right? The like you all again don't need the name. This is called rectus femoris, and this is vastus. I guess I should like pronounce it Latin and not English, right? So like not rectus femoris, but rectus femoris. Vermoris? How do you pronounce Latin? Latin pronunciation of R. Oh, Kuturo-san, komama. Saying, Lan, your drawing skills are getting better and better. That's amazing. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I will do my best. Gambarimasu. I will do it. Can everyone start? Oh, wait a second. Mod comments. This is why I want to be an artist, Santiago says. Art for Serendip says, art for me relies a lot on getting a feel for things. Totally. And like for me, like I think like in some ways it's like the same concept, like two sides of the same coins, right? It's like basically for me it's like I explain the feel in a really technical term, but like of course at the end of the day it's still like a feeling thing, right? Like at the end of the day I'm not someone who uses like a ruler and makes like really like technical distance calculations and then puts it into like makes it work, but like I just like sketch without any guideline, just like sketch it through, right? So I think like I'm working relatively chaotically, right? Or arcane, I guess. Kirian Lara says it's essential practical knowledge versus theoretical knowledge. You can learn both eventually. It's okay not to know everything. Right. The thing is for me, like I think I get like a lot of practical knowledge from theoretical knowledge, right? Like I often say like the best example is like I know that the legs and arms are not connected, right? Or like I know that the hands or like that the arm and the head is not connected. There's like the shoulder between, right? And that's like something that everyone knows, but it's still important, right? And it's like theoretical knowledge, but I guess it also gets to be practical knowledge. But like, it's like so easy that like no one thinks about it, right? Oh, thanks so much. And exactly, you can do it, Santiago, Samir Soto, and everyone starts from scratch, exactly. And it's also like, you can see like on my YouTube VODs, when I started out drawing, I mean like I started like a bit before, but like I think like 1 year ago, my art skill was like totally different, right? Or like even earlier. So you can really see the progress, and you don't need to have a talent for it. I think that's also important for me, right? Like I think I'm someone that like when I was a child, I stopped drawing in middle school or like high school at all, because like I think I didn't never have like a natural grasp of things, right? Of like copying, or like I always drew like faces as like circles, for example, and never thought about it, right? And Brooklyn Art says, my brain only can learn from visuals and muscle memory. I feel like I got the short end of the stick because I still struggle. I totally feel it. Like I think like for me too, I feel like in some ways when like another person would sit next to me and do the same thing, I think they would be faster than me, right? Almost anyone. But I think in the end it doesn't matter, because like maybe the biggest skill is not giving up, right? I think that's a good thing. Lara says, one day you should do a stream or video showing your art skill evolution. That would be very interesting and insightful for you. Yeah, true, that would be totally fun, right? Maybe I'll even make a video out of it. Or like maybe I'll make a video and then a stream. And Adra says, drawing takes time and effort. Right. But it's just like everything, right? Like playing the piano or having a vegetable garden. I like that I don't, like, at least for drawing I can be inside and drink a lot. Okay. I think it's a good idea to have the leg generally relatively big. But what we need here, kind of like a connection to the like pelvis, hips, hip thingies, right? Like they're kind of like this, right? And this goes maybe over it. But then it's like maybe more here. Maybe this would make more sense. Also, I'm getting really hungry now. Oh yeah, there was a video yesterday. Yesterday's premiere. Thanks so much. I hope you liked it. Like Tanabata video. We can also try to align this more here. But then it's like, I think like this. Let's just continue. Maybe we can like make it the new layers because I'm a bit scared. It's fine to be scared. So, this guy is gonna devour the entire world if nobody stops him. I can explain, I'm on the bulk. But yeah. I want something salty. Like something with rice. That's salty. But I think... Oh, and liver dumpling soup I would love to. But I don't have that right now. Do I make something with tomato? Tomato rice? Tomatoey... lentils? Oh, carbonara, I love it. Which kind of carbonara? Is it like the authentic one with like just egg yolk and stuff? Or is it the one more with like cream sauce basically, which is like, I guess like German and Japanese carbonara, right? Is Japanese carbonara also cream sauce? Japanese carbonara. I mean like German carbonara is totally cream sauce. Maybe not. Oh, I want pasta too now. Yeah, I should not. It's like nori on carbonara. Can I like put like furikake on carbonara? Maybe the Italians will not be pleased. I'm not sure. Egg carbonara. You can make the sauce from the mixing of 2 eggs, milk and butter. Yeah, that sounds good. Oh, I want Parmesan cheese too. Bacon. But right, I don't have eggs right now, right? Maybe something with tomatoes? Tomato soup. Okay, let's continue here. I will just do... Yeah, I like again though, that like on my sketch here, there's like really much like kind of like foreshortening here, right? Which is really cool, I think. And then just there's like this. And then I guess like if it's like meant to be like claws, then again like this one should be bigger, right? Relatively. Or maybe that's not the thing. And then we have maybe like a back thingy. Totally doesn't mix with the upper leg, but yeah, we can figure that out sometime. Let's first do a little funny coloring just before I eat something, because I think I talked too much about tomato, avocado and rice ball. Ball or bowl? Ah, it's like fresh tomatoes, right? It's not like canned tomatoes. I think I only have canned tomatoes right now. We want more like a warm, or want more like a... Yeah, I want a warm one, right? Or... I think this is more neutral, but I can make it more like this, more like this. Just a really quick, like, trying out the volumes, right? Okay, I have rice, I have canned tomatoes, and I have like German liverwurst paste. And I have cottage cheese, I guess. What else can I make? The purple guy also reminds me of Spyro, right? He looks a bit like Spyro, right? But he's like this color more. He's called, or maybe Ben Behemoth. And he's from Chocobo GP, which is basically like cutesy chibi Final Fantasy Mario Kart. I think. I have not played it. I only saw the character. We can also like figure out the volume here, right? Like maybe like it helps us more to figure out the volume. Coloring is always so fast. It's also fine, right? Like I think like it's good that I am more butting my head with like line art and the catching face, of course, which is like makes the most creation phase, right? Doing one says, well, this looks awesome plan. Very nice expression. And that face is cute. Thanks so much. That's the most important thing, right? Like, I really focus a lot on muscle, but of course, the most important thing is like the face, right? Like the face expression. That's kind of like the soul of the painting often, right? And of course, like I like the like contrasting thing where it's like cute face and then really buff body, like Kinnikuman, right? Where they're like, oh yeah, it's like it's a character that's like table salt, and then it's like a buff body, but it's just table salt, and then it's like, are you getting your salt intake? There's also something I want to like try to connect the traps against the thermonucleoidomastoideus muscle or something, but I will try that later. Now I really need food. But yeah, I think I like the, like if you think about it, that it's like face, hands, and here I guess the knees or the feet. It's kind of like, I think the spreading of those things is nice, right? It's like not uniform and kind of chaotic, right? Like there's like a big thing here, and then the next three things here. I'm thinking of like islands in the Zen garden or something, right? Like one thing is alone and somehow like spread, and it Looks a bit chaotic, but it looks good in that way. Like this red. It looks really desaturated. And really yellowy. Or maybe like another yellow is better. Maybe that's a bit too green. Not much. We can like change the colors later. Just so we get the feel for like the color combination. Just kind of out there, right? It's the same red. It's kind of close, but it's not the same red, right? Maybe I can just use the same red if it's so close. Yeah, I changed the claws to like just fingers because I wanted to practice fingers. But I think that's fine. Kind of not much colors. Oh, pinkish and red. The tongue? Or like both things? Ooh, like this is also... I guess like here it's totally red, right? But here it's more pink. And here it's pink red. But like in the original it's totally red. So... you can always change it, right? Apparently you can make curry out of canned tomatoes or bolognese with ground beef or pork. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I could make it like a lentil curry too with like canned tomatoes, lentils, right? Oh, you mean like the nails and claws are like more pink than the horns? Maybe. It also has like some like whatever these things are, the yellow. No problem. Yes, welcome. Yeah. Always happy when any of you on the stream, but of course like there's something more important. Don't feel bad about it. I guess the same yellow has like these things here, but like it's kind of hard to like see where they are. Like I would say this is on the biceps, or maybe here. And not like adding just before the thing, but like going through it. Like going behind the thumb. And then this part here is, I think here. Something like this. And then here. But it's not really round. Is it like, it's not extremely sharp, right? It's again like I love these like markings because like they show the form nicely again. And I think like what I learned is like if you like show that it like gets like behind the thing, right? Then I think it shows the 3D-ness more again. It's like 3D-ness points, kind of. Maybe it's a bit big here. Let's see. And I guess he didn't have that here. He just has like a funny tattoo here. But here has that, so like I will draw it for the new one. You can also see it, right? The thing is, I should draw the shirt like this, right? But maybe for that I should like draw first the shirt, so we can figure out like how the shirt, would like go there, right? Okay, I'm getting really hungry now. Okay, I will eat soon. Don't you all worry. That's like how it would look like, right? It would look something like this. Maybe even like this. And then here again, because there's the leg that's in front of it, it shows it nicely like 3D-ness again, right? Get food in your system. Exactly. Doing Bonzast. Are you German? Any German food you would recommend? Oh, that's a great question. So, like, I'm like, you could say that I'm German, right? Like, South German, Austrian, Southern, Eastern German-speaking area. So, what food would I recommend? Of course, Schnitzel. I'm also from Mars, right? Bebop. No, wait a second, that's a robot. What other German food would I recommend? Schnitzel. What else is great? Of course, all kinds of sausages. What else? Yeah, bratwurst, right? That's also a thing in America. What else is great? I love like paprika huhn, like paprika chicken, and liver dumpling soup. It sounds kind of weird, but like it's really great and comforting and kind of nostalgic for me. What else? Maybe this can show like. What else is great German food? Oh, good morning, Dr. Mechanic. Dumpling soup. Yeah, I'm not sure like how it's called, like, how would like translate it in English. It's like in German it's called Leberknödelsuppe, but Knödel is like a dumpling that doesn't have to have filling. Maybe it's just like, and like for the liver dumpling, it's not like outside this dough, it's just made of liver. It's kind of like minced meatball with liver, or tsukune in Japanese. Like, what is a chicken meatball in soup, right? It's kind of the same, but like with liver and meat. Right, what else did we want to do here? The eyes, right? I guess like you can also notice like when I'm getting kind of like low energy or a bit overwhelmed with like the anatomy, I just like, go to coloring, right? Like it's totally fine, and then I can just switch back. It's totally fine because like it's like just like I can continue this later, right? I guess like it's like really like fiery red. I will tone it down a bit. It's nice, I think. Maybe like this. Needs a bigger highlight later. Multiply. Too dark. Okay, thanks much. I think I will go now and get my food, my much needed food, but I'm really happy with the progress. I think it's a fun drawing and we can continue this sometime, definitely. Check once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I did it fast because I'm so hungry. Okay. I will cook so much now because like when I'm hungry I'm cooking in like always a giant portion. Okay, for now let's rate the halos. I think he's also drawing something. So see you all, bye bye. And